Namaskar. Welcome to day 10 of 100 days journey of my yoga practices towards the celebration of International Day of Yoga, which I will be celebrating with the world from Times Square, New York on 21st of June 2026. I welcome you once again. I believe I had a slight hitch in the beginning, so I had to restart. Once again, welcome to day 10. Today is March 23, and we explore Maharshi Patanjali's Yoga Sūtra 1.10 or Yoga Sutra 10 from Samadhi Pad, the first chapter. Abhāva pratyayālambanā vṛttir nidrā. This is the Yoga Sutra. I'll say that again. Abhāva pratyayālambanā vṛttir nidrā. Sleep, nidrā, is the mental activity based on the experience of absence. How can you experience absence? Well, if I have to explain, sleep is the mental activity based on the experiences of the absence. Maharshi Patanjali says that even sleep is a vṛtti. Remember, we discussed the 5 modifications. Praman, then comes viparya, that's the right knowledge, then the wrong knowledge, vikalpa, yesterday we talked about vikalpa, imagination, stories. Then comes nidrā, and then comes smritya. So today in Yoga Sutra 1.10, we explore nidrā. So sleep is a vṛtti, a modification of the chit, of the mind. In nidrā, awareness is not absent. In nidrā, awareness is not absent. Only the contents or the objects of the awareness, those are absent. In sleep, the contents of the awareness is absent. And the mind always likes to keep itself busy, whether there is something or not. Even in nidrā, experiences of the absence. The mind rests on the experience of nothing happening. This resting is still a modification, a chitta vṛtti, a quiet, subtle vṛtti. And if I have to give an analogy of a quiet room, imagine entering a quiet room. Imagine entering a quiet room. No sound, no movement, no activity. But the room still exists. No sound, no movement, no activity. Its quietness is also a kind of presence. And nidrā is like that. Nidrā, sleep, is like that. Awareness, resting on the experience of absence. Awareness, resting on the experience of absence. And why am I discussing Yoga Sutra 1.10 today? In today's world, we are surrounded by noise, notifications, opinions, pressure, overstimulation. Even our rest is restless. Maharshi Patanjali reminds us that true rest, true rest is not to collapse. It is awareness resting quietly. Awareness resting quietly. Today's gentle movements help us feel the silent gaps before and after each movement. The same gaps the mind rests in a sleep. And this is why I'm sharing day 10 with the world today, because we need more softness, gentleness. We need more clarity. And we need rest. So here are few gentle, classical or traditional Ashtang based movement, starting with Griva Sanchalan or slow neck rotation. Slow neck rotation, notice the silent moment before the neck moves. So we move our neck. You may keep your eyes open or closed as it suits you. One more. And on the opposite side. And the last. That was Griva Sanchalan. Griva, which means neck. Griva is the Sanskrit. So, if you noticed the silent moment before, even then the mind is busy. And after the movement, the mind is still busy. The pause is the awareness on absence. Please bring your back and spine straight. You may roll your shoulders to make it aligned. And we will move on to Skanda Sanchalanam. Skanda is the shoulder and Sanchalan is the movement. So we will do shoulder rolls. I want you to feel the quiet space before each roll. So we are talking about the gaps, the silence, the absence, the subtle moments between the gaps. You breathe in, the moment before we breathe in, and breathe out the moment after. The gaps, we are talking about the gap, these moments before and after. So let us feel the quiet space after each roll. Shoulder. Roll your shoulders gently. And one more time. And opposite. Roll your shoulders. And I always say this, here's your challenge. With these movements, you got to keep your smile on. Just keep smiling. So nidrā is a subtle vṛtti. Vṛtti is the modification of the mind, the fluctuation of the mind. Nidrā is the gap. That's the subtle vṛtti of Yoga Sutra 1.10. The third one, let's do the Bidalasana. Bidal is the cat, and it's also popularly in the Western world called the cat-cow pose. Since I'm seated here, we'll do the Marjorie Bitilasana or Bidalasana. And again, our navel is our anchor. So this is Nabhi Mool led movement or Sanchalan. So we do the cat-cow from our navel. Well, if you are on all your fours, the tabletop position, you can do cat-cow. But since I'm seated, I'm using a chair, back and spine straight. Roll your shoulders if you have to. And I want you to notice the pause between the inhale and exhale. Notice the pause. Inhale and exhale. So we do this as we are seated. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Bring in all the oxygen that's around you. Inhale and exhale. One last time. Inhale and exhale. Excellent. Very nice. Nidrā is the vṛtti that we are exploring today, Yoga Sutra 1.10. We move on to our next classical movement, which is, you can do this while standing, Uttan Padahastasana. Because I'm seated in a chair, I'm in my chair, so I will do this in a seated pose. And how I can do it? So I will just lift my hands up and down. So I would do this. What is important here is that we are noticing the gap between. So today we are noticing the gap between the inhale and the exhale. Before the inhale and after the exhale. Let's do it. Let's begin. Again, back and spine straight. Chin slightly tucked in. Raise your hands and just fold forward. And release. The last one, vṛttir sanchalanam. Vṛttir is the twist and sanchalanam is the movement, sanchalan. So we will have a gentle spinal twist here. Before the twist begins and after ends is what we are noticing. Before and after. So let's do it. A gentle twist. after. We do this one more time. Gentle spinal twist and opposite side. So here is something, all these movements can be done whether you're standing or you're seated on your mat on the floor, or if you are using a chair. You can do all these traditional movements. Now let's how the awareness rests on these gaps, in the absence, can be very well understood when we practice stillness. Sthir sukham dhyanam. Sthir sukham dhyanam. So let's just be seated. You can sit in any of your favorite meditative pose, cross-legged Sukhasana. I have my legs stretched in front of me. And I'll make my back and spine straight. I will roll my shoulders a little bit to have the perfect posture and chin slightly tucked in. And we will just breathe normal. Just breathe normal. Normal breathing, and just observe your breath. Let your breath settle. Yesterday, I did mention that just to bring ourselves into stillness, well, I always found that to be very difficult when I was growing up. I never thought that, one could be really still, but I always used to get these challenges from my parents saying that, okay, even just for a few seconds, you'll get a prize if you can just stay in one place without moving. So that used to be a challenge, but well, that was, now that, of course, it's challenge, I still find it to be very difficult, because even if you are not visibly doing anything, you may say that, okay, I can win the challenge easily, because yes, I can sit still, I can stand still, I can not do anything or nothing, but your mind is still busy. Your mind is working. Your mind is even working when there is nothing. So then the stillness is still not there. So then how do we bring about stillness, the complete stillness? We can practice by breathing. Let our breath settle. And when in the settling of our breath, as the mind is still busy, as you get bombarded with thoughts, the modifications, every time that happens, you just come back to your navel, to your breath. to your navel, that is your anchor, to your breath. And the last one, this is very beautiful. This one is called Antar Maun. Antar is inside and Maun means silence. When was the last time you practiced silence? Anyways, so let's do it, because remember, we entered a quiet room with nothing happening there. No movement, no visible movement, no sound, nothing. The quiet room. The room is the reality. So how can we practice Antar Maun, or the silence inside? You just sit or stand or lay down. Let your breath settle, remembering back and spine straight, chin slightly tucked in. Now the thought starts to come. In between the thoughts, the quiet moments, one thought comes, let it go. Before the next one comes, the quiet moment, even during that time, mind is busy. You're breathing in and out, in and out. The pauses, the brief pauses, the micro pauses. You are every time coming back to your navel to bring about stillness. Your focus is on your breath. We are practicing to still the mind. The mind is moving, jumping around all the time, even in the absence, even in nidrā or sleep. You may come back to your natural rhythm. Return to your navel. That's the quiet center of your awareness. So let us wrap up with 3 soft breaths. Inhale softly, exhale completely. Let's do it, but we are equalizing our breath with the counts. I'll count to 3 for each inhalation and equalize it with 3 counts of exhalation. And we do it 3 times together. Let's do it. Breathe in, 2, 3. Breathe out, 2, 3. Breathe in, 2, 3. Breathe out, 2, 3. Breathe in, 2, 3. Breathe out, 2, 3. Today we explored nidrā, vṛtti, the sleep fluctuation of the mind. Awareness resting on absence. When we understand our even the quietest, the subtlest vṛttis, the mind becomes steady and awake. When we understand the quietest vṛttis like sleep, the mind becomes steady and awake. Thank you for practicing with me today. Until tomorrow, stay warm, stay open, and stay honest to your story. Thank you, Tommy Brooks -E9P. Thank you, Mackenzie 444E. Thank you so much. Thank you, TKC85. Thank you so much. And lovely, oh, wonderful, Pavitra. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. We meet tomorrow again for Yoga Sūtra 1.11. Thank you.